The thing is only that the team relies a lot on him. Already for a young player. Come on. I'm so worried that he get injured because they use him all the time. And they say, yeah, but he's young, but you saw it with Pedri.
On October 30th, Pedri torn hamstring muscle. On April 22nd, Lamine Yamal tore the same hamstring. 6 days before Yamal went down, Ruud Gullit told a reporter exactly this would happen, and he named the manager who let it. For 2 years, the world has watched Lamine Yamal and tried to find Messi in him. He won Euro 2024 at 16. He finished second in last year's Ballon d'Or at 17. He has the signature Adidas boot, the signature logo, the 10-year contract worth 32 million euros, the Visa global ambassador deal, the £6 million a year in endorsements before his 19th birthday. By the time he turned 18, he had played 130 senior matches, 8,158 minutes. The youngest player ever to reach 100 senior games. Spain wanted him on the pitch. Barcelona needed him on the pitch. Adidas was building a generation of marketing around him being on the pitch. So he was on the pitch. Every weekend, every international break, every Champions League night. The first warning came on October 12, 2024. Yamal pulled up with a hamstring overload after 90 minutes against Denmark for Spain. He missed the next game. Luis de la Fuente, the Spain coach, was asked if he should have rested him. His answer? The second warning came in September 2025. Yamal arrived at Spain's camp with a chronic groin injury called pubalgia. He didn't train. He played 73 minutes against Bulgaria, 79 against Turkey. Both games Spain were already winning by 3 goals. When he came back to Barcelona, he was injured. Hansi Flick was furious.
For me, it's a pity because it's, he go to the national team with pain. He trained nothing with the national team. He got pain killers for playing, and this is not to taking care about players.
De La Fuente's response was 4 words. Then he called Yamal up again. By April 2026, Yamal had pubalgia that doctors said may never fully heal. He had played a Clásico at 50% capacity. According to the Spanish sports doctor Pedro Luis Ripoll on Cadena Ser, he was still starting every game. And then Ruud Gullit said something nobody wanted to print. Gullit's quote, in full, was this.
The team relies a lot on him. Already for a young player. Come on. I'm so worried that he get injured because they use him all the time.
The line everyone missed was the second half. He didn't just say Yamal was being overused. He named the precedent. You saw it with Pedri. You saw it with Gavi. Pedri made 53 appearances for Barcelona at 18. He played all but 1 minute of Spain's run to the Euro 2020 semi-final. He has had recurring hamstring problems ever since. 6 months before Gullit's warning about Yamal, he tore his distal biceps femoris, the same muscle in the same leg that Yamal would tear in April. Gavi tore his ACL in November 2023. Playing for Spain in a qualifier Spain had already topped. It was his 7th start in 8 games. The Spain coach who started him was Luis de la Fuente. His response after the injury,
pero desde luego Gavi está perfectamente para jugar el partido, igual que los compañeros. La vida tiene estas cosas.
Gavi missed 11 months. He came back. His knee broke down again in August 2025. Surgery in September. That's the same Spain coach. The same response. 3 different teenagers. Here is the data point everyone has missed. Lamine Yamal had 8,158 minutes of senior football by his 18th birthday. Jude Bellingham, widely cited as a workload cause for concern, had 6,216. Gavi had 4,195. Pedri had 3,811. Yamal has played more than double the minutes Pedri played at the same age. Pedri's body broke. Then it broke again. Then it broke again. They watched it happen. They kept playing Yamal anyway. This was never going to be bad luck. It was a system that had failed twice already, and the third teenager was always going to break. It just happened to be the most valuable footballer of his generation. April 22nd, Camp Nou, Barcelona versus Celta Vigo, La Liga, match day 32. 6 days after the Gullit interview was published, Yamal was visibly struggling all night with the underlying pubalgia he'd been managing for 7 months. In the 40th minute, he was fouled in the box. He won a penalty. He stepped up to take it himself. His own coach told reporters afterwards that Yamal had felt his hamstring after the foul. He'd felt it pull. He told them he wanted to take the penalty anyway. He scored. He didn't celebrate. He went straight to the ground holding his left leg. The diagnosis the next day, distal biceps femoris muscle injury, left leg. Same muscle as Pedri, same leg as Pedri, 6 months apart. Barcelona's official statement said the injury required conservative treatment. Translation: it's bad enough they're not letting him train, but not bad enough to need surgery. He will miss the rest of Barcelona's season. He is expected to return, best case, in time for Spain's third group stage match at the World Cup against Uruguay, 9 weeks after the injury. Cold. A Spanish television presenter went on Argentine sports TV the next day to blame Yamal personally for getting hurt. He said the kid was eating McDonald's on private jets. He said he wasn't taking it seriously enough. Hansi Flick, the man who had watched all of it for 9 months, gave a press conference and said this.
He has to learn about that. I think he's very focused now. He knows it was his first injury, muscle injury.
6 months after Pedri tore the same muscle, after 2 seasons of pubalgia, after Gullit's warning, after his own pain-killing row, his first muscle injury. The defense Spain will offer is real, and it deserves to be heard. Per Diario Sport, when Barcelona flagged Gavi's fitness in September 2025, the federation pulled him from the squad immediately. Yamal arrived in camp the same month with no formal medical communication from Barcelona about his groin. Spain's argument is that they responded to the information they were given. Hansi Flick has been protecting Yamal in public for a year, but he didn't rotate him in private. Rooney Bargi, the Swedish winger Barcelona signed last summer, played 616 minutes all season. The team Flick built had no replacement ready. That's not Spain's fault. And Yamal himself has agency. He took the penalty after he felt the hamstring pull. He stepped up. When he was asked, before Euro 2024, whether he was worried about ending up like Pedri, his answer was,
Yo creo que al final es un ejemplo porque es el único que yo me acuerdo que lo haya hecho y pues para mí yo creo que es eso. Es un ejemplo de lo que puede pasar.
That answer is going to age. Maybe it already has. But none of this, Barcelona's failure to rotate, Yamal's own decisions, Spain's communication defense, undoes the pattern. Here is where Lamine Yamal sits today. He's the second best player in the world by the Ballon d'Or vote. He has the signature boot, the signature logo, the visa contract worth $1.5 million a year, built around a World Cup he might miss the start of. His own father broke down in tears on a stadium camera the last time the kid got hurt. He has chronic pubalgia that may never fully resolve, a hamstring tear in the same muscle his teammate tore 6 months ago, a coach who keeps calling him up, a club that built no backup for him, and a manager, Luis de la Fuente, whose Spain career began at the 2020 Olympics, where he used Pedri, Gavi, Olmo, and Oyarzabal weeks after they played a full Euros and watched all 4 develop fitness problems they're still managing 5 years later. 3 teenagers under 1 Spain coach. 5 years of warnings. 1 column in Football España that drew the line, and then Ruud Gullit said it on the record.
I'm so worried that he get injured because they use him all the time. And they say, yeah, but he's young, but you saw it with Pedri. Gavi.
6 days later, the 3rd teenager went down. The video Spain wants you to watch this summer is Lamine Yamal coming on against Uruguay, half fit, scoring the winner, playing the hero. The other video, the one nobody wants to make, is the question Gullit was actually asking. How many teenagers does it take? Drop your verdict in the comments. Did Spain break Lamine Yamal? Or did Barcelona? Or did the kid break himself? And a real question for the comments. If Yamal misses the World Cup opener, who's the first to lose their job? Flick or De La Fuente?